Good morning. This is not a review that I have wanted to do. I've put it off for a long time, hoping my feelings might change. This knife was a gift from my wife. She told me to pick out whatever I wanted for Christmas. I picked this knife out. It came in just before Thanksgiving. We opened it up. We had some fun dyeing the G10. This is a Blade HQ exclusive knife. It come in jade. We use a couple of different colors there. I can't remember what the green was called. We used some sort of green. Try to get it darker toward the pivot, kind of like so light that we almost left it jade in the center and bled into the purple or the violet. We had fun with the project, and I appreciate the gift. When it came in, I was extremely underwhelmed to the point where I couldn't hide it. It's not a bad knife. It wasn't made poorly. It's got great action. It should, check a lot of boxes for me. But it may be the most underwhelming Riot knife that I've ever handled in my life, to the point where this knife was the knife that pretty much made the decision for me, to stick to the American market. I'm not, and I really don't know why. It just doesn't feel right. If that, maybe it just doesn't feel me. Like I'm not typically very picky, but every time I've stuck it in my pocket, I've taken it out and chose something else. I don't never sell a gift from anybody. That's not something I do. I've been offered from viewers on this channel $250 for my Kershaw knockout, which I think is absurd. And I'm not calling whoever offered me that crazy. What I'm saying is that in my opinion, the knife's not worth that much money. It can be found for cheaper on the secondhand market. He said he trusted me, trusted my blades, and he was willing to pay an upcharge if I was willing to sell it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment. But but it was a Father's Day gift from my children. So that's it's not for sale. It's simple as that. And it doesn't matter, if the knife comes from a friend or a family member, or if it's a gift, it's not for sale. There's other things that I can get rid of if I need the money. My wife immediately got online and ordered me something else. Something she knew I'd like. She got me a paramilitary 2, because I couldn't hide the disappointment that I had from this knife, and a lot of that comes from the price point. If you get on Blade HQ and look at their 229 Chaveses, you'll see that the price is $345 for every one of them they have. They haven't had the Redencion 229 in stock in a very long time. It is cheaper than the titanium models by $50 or so. I feel like the titanium model probably would have been more satisfying. Like the knife feels like it's hard to balance because the G10 weighs so much less than the titanium that the knife kind of like wants to lean to the right when it's in your hand. Now, it's not that. It's 6.45 ounces. It's not a light knife. So there's a noticeable difference in the weight distribution. It's not a very centered knife. Like I said, there's nothing functionally wrong with the knife. It's an M390. It's PVD coated. It's got a nice. It's got the factory edge on it because I've never cut anything with it. I don't even know if I've ever cut any paper with it. I may have. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's 8.22 inches overall. It's 3.63 inch blade. It's got a 3.25 cutting edge. The blade stock is 160 thousandths. It's made by Riot in China. I'm not here today to bash on Chinese-made knives. There's plenty of Chinese-made knives that I carry a lot, and I enjoy them, and I don't mind being stuck with them. But in my honest opinion, if this knife is $58, this knife should be no more than $90. They're like, well, it's M390. Okay, fair enough. It's got a titanium frame lock as well, and this has got a steel frame lock. So there's differences in price there as well. But titanium frame locks in 20 CV, which is the same still, with a G10 handle, can be found for 150. So let's call it 150. Maybe the price point shouldn't be any more than 150. I didn't want to do this review with my wife because she is when it comes to a gift, it's the intention that matters. And she told me to pick out what I wanted. It's my fault. It's not really my fault. I had a 229 model that I was perfectly satisfied with. So no sense in thinking that this knife would have been worse. In fact, I would have thought that this knife would have been better. But here we are. The knife's got everything with it that it came with, which is not much. No paperwork. It came with a box. That's the box. This is the spare pocket clip, which is also titanium. I believe the decision has been made that we will sell the knife, reinvest the money in something else. We need a microphone for the channel. There's other stuff that we could use the money for as well. Every time we buy a microphone, we have trouble. It may be something to do with the phone instead of, say, the microphones, because it's just too many times something's going wrong with the microphone for us to be able to blame it on the microphone every time. We've spent several $100s now on different microphones, and we cannot seem to get any of them to work. That's neither here nor there. So that's George 0900 or 0920. Sorry. The Chaves 229 is to me it's a pretty knife, and I wish I liked it more. I don't. I haven't discussed it with my wife yet. I was thinking maybe since it's already here, and we kind of gave it a customized RIT dye job. I mean, it's not very much of a custom job, but I mean, it is what it is. It should be a one of a kind. That maybe this would be a good 1,500 subscriber giveaway. I'll discuss it with her. That might be more valuable to keep it around to give it away to one of you guys than it would be to sell it. Let me know your thoughts on that if you've watched the video. I'm mostly just to be honest, is like I'm mostly just displeased with the G10 overall. It's sharp. I can probably sand some of that stuff down. It's unfinished. The jimping on the G10 side is very aggressive, while the jimping on the titanium side is very smooth and machined like it should be. every corner has some sort of little hiccup. I'm sure it can be machined down. I could probably take a router, I'm sorry, Dremel, and knock a little bit of this off. No problem. But it's not something that gets any carry from me. It's probably not ever going to get any carry from me. So thinking about replacing it with something else or saving it for a giveaway. Let me know your thoughts. And any questions or concerns. I'm sure I forgot something. You know, like I didn't, it's not really as much of an overview as it, you know, it should have been. It was just more of a, I guess, a negative, like, my take on the knife, I suppose. And I hate to be negative, but I also, like, what I hate worse about being negative is being false, you know. And I'm not here to, I don't care nothing about having one of those channels. You know, like I'm gonna give you straight up, you know, like, and this could be a perfect knife for you. You know, like I never try to push my opinions onto you. You know, like if you have one and you love it, that's great. I'm glad. You know, like not every knife is for every person. I happen to like this one. It happens to be one of the least popular Emersons on the market. I happen to like this one. It's not a very popular knife. It was a very short run because it got a lot of negative feedback because of the recurve, because of people who liked it loved it. People who didn't like it so much weren't buying it. They weren't selling enough of them. They had to shut it down. And, you know, like, so like it's not. I understand completely that my negative distaste for it might not reflect your opinions about the knife, and that's why I want your feedback on a future giveaway. It would be far in the future. It's an expensive knife, and I wouldn't want to, you know, just give it away at the 500 mark or anything, you know, like. But if you guys want to do a giveaway, I'm sure my wife would probably be okay with it. If not, then we'll discuss that together later in the future. But it's got everything. You got everything that come with. You guys give me your opinion, and we will touch base on that matter later. Catch you on the flip side.